I attended the Voices of Insight workshop face-to-face, and it was a small, intimate group of about 9 of us, as well as the 2 facilitators. And both the facilitators also had lived experience of suicide, and it was just a privilege to be in that room with all that shared experience and people allowing themselves to be vulnerable and sharing.
It was confronting to start with, to be in a room with people that I didn't know, but also people that were there with a common shared experience. And I found that for me, the opportunity to sit and share with other people and to hear other people's experiences and to realise that, we're not unique, we're not alone.
I was quite anxious, I guess, approaching it, but was made to feel really warm and welcome right from the get-go. It was very, a really calm and welcoming space.
What I did find was that it was really validating, which I didn't expect. So I was around people that they didn't have the same experience, but we had the same feelings. And that was so validating to me. And then being able to structure my conversations about my experiences and being able to talk about it in that structured manner. It was a really, really, a really good experience. Definitely something I'd do again.
It meant a lot to me to be able to learn how to get my story out of my head and onto paper, and then be able to speak about it in a way that doesn't do any harm, that makes me be able to express my emotions and also be a bit creative around the story and the narrative that I've experienced.
I feel I've really grown from the workshop. I've always been a writer, but I'm generally a narrator or a storyteller rather than a more sort of formal writer. And having attended the workshop just gave me a really firm structure and better ideas on how to focus, getting a good message across, not just telling a story. Like, obviously my story is important, as was my son's, but being able to put a call to action to that story just really empowered the writing that I do. So I'm really ecstatic about that, actually. Yeah.
It was a real moment for me. It was a game changer. That's what it was. It was a game changer.
It's one of the most rewarding workshops I've done, and it really has helped me learn how to accept my story and own my story.
The most valuable part about attending the workshop was the people that were in attendance. I did it alongside some colleagues across Australia in Sydney, and it was just amazing to hear their stories, to give them a hug, to have a cry, to support them through their journey of telling their story, and to also be supported by them telling my story.
They really made sure they emphasised this is safe. If you feel like you need to take a break at any time, and do that, and don't apologise for allowing yourself to be vulnerable and upset and everything else that you need to do. So absolutely felt emotionally safe and secure.
I've kind of felt very isolated, I think, prior to the Roses workshop. I felt like this was my burden, my journey, and I was doing a lot of it on my own. But having the experience of the workshop made me realise there's a lot going on. There are a lot of people impacted by suicide death in Australia, and there are a lot of people that need support. And being able to find that community was just outstanding for me. It's helped me a lot.
It's a powerful experience. There were tears, there was laughter, there was a real connection. But it's really humbling, and I can't express that any better way than to say that, because we are, you're being allowed into somebody's life that's pretty personal. And when you're in a room with half a dozen people that are prepared to do that, it's powerful.
I'm looking at these guys thinking, oh my goodness, you're all like me. And I'm like you. And it was just so relieving. It felt so safe. I felt valued. It was great. It was really great. It was such a great experience.
It was just fabulous. Everybody's on their own journey. Suicidality affects people in so many different ways, people from all walks of life. But the mood of the room, it was just love, support, acceptance, and strength. So much courage in that room. It was incredible.
I just felt so fortunate to be in that room with everybody else and sharing that journey with them. Yeah, it's a special thing. Yeah. I would really encourage them, but I would also say, make sure you're looking after yourself. So make sure you feel ready and that's the right thing for you. Don't do it because, you think you have to or whatever. It's absolutely got to be where you're at now, and if that's something you feel ready for, but embrace it. I would just say embrace it. If you feel this is your time, absolutely go for it.
I could not recommend the workshop higher. It is the most professional workshop I've attended, and has enabled me to be able to go confidently and tell my story, and hopefully help other people from there.
I'd highly recommend it. I've recommended it to other staff of mine that have a lived experience. I think it's a really cathartic way to, get that story out of your head onto paper and speak to it with a group of people. It's a great learning aspect of how to talk about your experience in front of people as well. And it's just energetically an amazing way to reconnect with your loved one and share their story.
And if you want to learn how to put words to your experience in a way that is useful, in a way that can be received, in a way that can help impact somebody else for the better, do these courses. do it. It helps you if nobody else.
I'm doing more consultancy and advocacy work with Suicide Prevention Australia. I've been doing some work with Black Dog Institute with their Suicide Prevention Advisory Network, and being more confident to speak at conferences.
There's a lot more going on down here in Tasmania than I previously realised. And one of the workshop participants is quite an active advocate for suicide prevention. So I'm hoping that I can get involved with a few events. And I'm happy to do some public speaking.
It was kind of like Voices of Insight gave me the tools to professionally write my story. And then from that, you're able to give yourself the confidence to be able to know that you're actually going to help people, and it moves it along. And I was just so inspired by having a voice to my thoughts, having a voice to my experience. It was so exciting for me that I just wanted to share it. I wanted to help people. I wanted to move through. So that literally, the Voices of Insight was the first start for me. And it just snowballed from there. And I thought, this is how I help people. My life hasn't been for nothing. I can use this. I can harness this.